are we all doing out here today? Yes. Oh, wow. Okay, nice. We already got. I didn't have to prompt you to do it. You're all here and you're all ready to move. That's awesome. Again, my name is Elisha. I'm so happy to have you here. I like to start all of my classes with a seated meditation. I see so many new and some familiar faces. It's so good to see you all. So for a seated meditation, you can either come to a cross-legged position. You can sit on your knees, whatever feels good for you. But just know that we'll be here for a few moments. Start to connect to your breath. Start to bring your awareness to the inhalations in through the nose. Big open mouth sigh. Out through the mouth, let it go. You can start to roll the shoulders up to the ears, roll it back down, and then maybe rock side to side. Slowly start to come into a comfortable seat. And you can either have a soft gaze down in front of you, or if you feel safe to do so, you can close your eyes here. So much of our day is spent looking outwards. Answering meetings, coming to meetings, answering calls, responding to notifications that come in. But how often do we ever spend the time really connecting to ourselves, connecting to our bodies? And for the next hour, we're going to just do that. So just really start to bring your awareness to how you're feeling. Take a moment to notice the contact with the earth supporting you. Notice your shoulders. Notice your jaw. Notice the space between your eyebrows. Notice the wind and the leaves blowing in the trees. And if the mind starts to wander, just bring it back to the breath, to those long, deep inhalations in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Today's practice is simply an invitation to listen to the body, to reconnect to your breath, and to reconnect with yourself. For the next hour, there's no need to solve anything. There's no need to pay attention to anything beyond what you're doing here for the next 60 minutes. All we'll be doing today, for this moment, for this next hour, is coming back to the body, coming back to the breath, and reconnecting with yourself. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Breathing in. And out. Final breath here. Wherever you are. Take a big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Release. Take a moment to notice how you feel. Know that you can always come back to this by connecting to your breath. And whenever you feel ready, start to slowly open the eyes. Come back to this space. Beautiful. All right. We're going to start to warm up with one of my personal favorite stretches. We're going to do some neck rolls, and then we'll invite some additional movement. If this feels like ever too much on your neck, you can always modify by not going into the full circles. So whenever you feel ready, start to drop the chin down to the chest. Slowly roll the left ear over to the left shoulder. And then start to come back to center. Chin comes to chest, and then slowly roll over to opposite shoulder. And then switch sides. Imagine that you're moving through honey, exaggerating the movement. And then the next time that the left ear comes over to the left shoulder, hold it there. Release your hands by your side. And if this feels like enough, you can stay here. Otherwise, start to walk the left hand out to the side. On your next inhale, bring that left hand on top of your right ear. So don't pull down, but just use that weight to invite a greater stretch into the side of the neck. And you can stay here, and if you want even more on your next breath, start to lift your right hand up. Imagine that you're pressing a wall away from you, fingertips face towards the sky. So you get that nice stretch in the heel of the hand. And if you want even more, you can start to slowly bring the gaze to lift it up slightly towards the sky. We hold it here, one more breath. And exhale, slowly drop the right hand, release the left hand down, and then slowly roll the neck over to the opposite side, and we'll do the same thing here. So this time, you can stay here. You start to walk the right hand out to the side. On your next inhale, start to bring it over onto your left ear. And you can stay here, or you can start to lift that hand up, press that imaginary wall away. Point the fingers up towards the sky, and you'll start to feel a nice stretch of the heel of the hand. And if you want even more, just start to slowly bring your gaze up towards the sky. Don't need to lift it up very high. We hold it here, one more breath. And exhale, slowly drop that hand down, release the other, slowly roll the neck, chin to chest, and then we lift the gaze up. Beautiful job, everyone. Moving into a cat and cow, personally one of my favorite stretches, especially if you sit around a lot, which I do, I feel like we all do. We'll come into a tabletop, spread the fingers out, your faces towards the front of your mat, hips up. On your next inhale, drop the belly, roll the shoulders back, lift. And exhale, tuck tailbone under, press the ground away, moving into cat pose. Inhale, drop the belly, roll shoulder. Lift, gaze up. And exhale. Back into a cat pose. Now continue these two movements for just a few. One more round. And that, and the next time that you start to come back to positions, start to come into a neutral tabletop position. Start to thread the ground into the left hand. On your next, right hand lifts up towards the sky. And exhale, thread the right hand in between the left wrist and the left knee. Right shoulder comes down towards the floor. Left hand reaches up towards the sky. And you can stay here, or you can start to walk the left hand up towards the top of the mat. Get a little deeper into this stretch. See if you can gently press the left hip away, trying to square the hips here. We're here for one more breath. And at the end of your next exhale, start to walk the left hand underneath the left shoulder, ground into the left hand. Inhale, right arm lifts up towards the sky. And exhale, right hand comes down, other side. Inhale, left hand lifts. Exhale, left hand between right wrist and right knee. And again, you can stay here, or you can start to walk the right hand up towards the top of the mat. So this is a nice deep shoulder opener, should feel really nice here. And all of these poses that we're doing, you can always do at home, maybe in between a meeting, in between scrolling on whatever your social media of choice is. We're here for one more breath. And at the end of your next exhale, start to walk right hand back. Inhale, left hand reaches up towards the sky. And exhale, left hand comes back down. Beautiful job. Gently rock the hips side to side. And we're gonna do a new pose today. It's called puppy pose. So from your tabletop position, start to make sure your hips are directly on top of your knees. Start to walk the hands all the way up to the top of the mat. So almost like a downward facing dog, but we're going to be opening up the fronts of the shoulders. So you can stay here, or you can walk your hands further. One day the chest comes all the way down to the floor. Nice deep stretch to open up the front of the shoulders. Really great if you find yourself rounding your shoulders. Maybe you're sitting at a laptop for long periods of time. Maybe you're at your phone. Whatever it may be, it's a great way to counteract the forward motion, the forward movement. One more breath here. Hold it through the exhale. Next inhale, slowly walk your hands back, neutral tabletop position. We'll do one more pose here. You have two options. We're going to do a wrist stretch. Your first option is to turn your hands out to the sides of the mat. And then from here, you can gently rock side to side. If you want more, you'll rotate your fingers all the way back to face your knees. So the heels of the hands are facing towards the front of your mat. And from here, slowly bring the hips back towards the heels. So this is a great way to stretch out the wrists, the forearms. We use our hands so much throughout the day. It's great to show them a little bit of love. You can stay static, or you can gently rock forward and back or side to side if you're in the other option. If you start to feel any pain, you can always ease out of it. You don't need to go very deep to feel this stretch. But wherever you are, we'll just take one more nice breath here. And hold it through the exhale. On your next inhale, start to come back. Rotate the hands so the fingers face the top of the mat. Curl toes under. And we come into our first downward facing dog of the day. Hips reach up towards the sky. Take a moment to gaze down at the feet. Make sure that they're parallel to one another, about hip distance apart. And then start to look towards the top of the mat. Look at your fingers. Pointer fingers should be facing towards the top of the mat, or even the corners of the mat, 45-degree angle. Press into all 10 fingers here. And then we start to build up on that foundation. Start to bend into the knees. See if you can press the hips back. Gaze goes either towards the back of this space. It could be at your knees, your hips, maybe one day all the way to the navel. One more big breath here. All together, big open mouth sigh. Let it go, release. Start to generously, deeply bend into the knees. Look towards the top of the and slowly walk the feet to meet all in a forward fold position. So your feet can either be hip distance apart or a little bit wider. These are some of my favorite stretches. I do these every single day. You can either interlace fingers behind the back and then let the arms reach up overhead. From here, bend into one knee as you gently rock side to side, opening up the front of the shoulders. Your other option, if you feel some lower back sensitivity, is to release the bind of the hands, to grab opposite elbows and then gently rock side to side. So these are two great stretches. I do these literally every single day. I try to find little mindful moments. Maybe it's when the microwave is moving or going. Maybe I'm waiting for some cloud coating or something like that. Whatever you may find, just a couple moments to introduce some movement. I invite you to find some stretches. You'll feel a lot better throughout your day. Whenever you feel ready, release the hands, come into a forward fold, and then start to slowly roll up to standing, stacking one vertebrae at a time. When you get up to the top, roll the shoulders up to the ears, roll it back down, and then we come into the top. Come to the top of your mat. We'll do 2 rounds of our vinyasa. First one is always modified, hands by your side. Start to bend into the knees, reach up towards the sky, reach up, get as big as you can. And on your next exhale, dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Hands go on your shins or on your thighs, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, bend into the knees, place your hands on the mat, step back, high plank position for just a moment. Lower the knees down, untuck your toes, squeeze your elbows into your side, lower down all the way. From here, hands underneath your shoulders, inhale, halfway lift for a cobra. Gaze goes a few inches in front of the mat. Exhale, forward fold, release. Hands underneath your shoulders, lift the chest, come into a child's pose, hips come back towards heels. Curl toes under, lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Start to bend into the knees, look towards the front of your mat, slowly walk the feet to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Ground it to the feet, inhale, sweep arms up overhead, reach up towards the sky. And exhale, bring hands to heart center and release them by your side. So that is our modified version of your vinyasa. Feel free to take that throughout your practice. Otherwise, I'll be demonstrating the full version here at the top of our meadow. Come to the front of your mat, hands by your side. Our full rounds of our vinyasas are starting now. Bend into the knees, sweep arms up overhead, reach the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands on the mat, step back, high plank position. Option to modify by lowering the knees down. Otherwise, moving into chaturanga. Shoulders go past wrists, glue elbows into your side, lower down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Drop the hips, roll the shoulders back, gaze to the front of our space. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Maybe take a moment to notice how this downward facing dog feels, and then we'll compare at the end of class. 1 more breath. And at the end of your exhale, bend into the knees, look towards the front of our space. Walk the feet to meet the hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward. Round into the feet, inhale, sweep arms up, head. And exhale, hands to heart center, and release them by your side. Beautiful job. Come to the top of your mat. We do start to bend into the knees, sweep arms up overhead, get as big as you can. Take your left hand, grab your right wrist, and then start to reach over to the side. Inhale back to center, release, we switch, and then come over to the other side. Release, moving through your vinyasa, cartwheel the hands down. Your choice. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. exhale, hands go on the mat, step or hop back, high plank position. Option to modify, otherwise, we will all meet in a downward facing dog. Absolutely no rush to get there. From your downward facing dog, on your next inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, step the right foot in between your hands. Lower left knee down. We meet into a low lunge. Hands go on hips. On your next inhale, we lift up. So this is a really great way to stretch out the front of the hip flexors, really counteracting a lot of the sitting that we do. You can stay here with hands on your hips, or on your next inhale, hands reach up overhead. You can start to make some circles with the wrist, stretching out the wrist, the fingers, letting this feel good. One more breath here. And on your next exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the mat, curl left toes under, lift left knee up, moving into a simple twist. Inhale, right hand reaches up towards the sky. You can continue making some circles with the wrist here, circles with the hands. One more breath. And exhale, right hand comes down, step left foot back, downward facing dog. Option to take a vinyasa here, or you can stay in your downward facing dog or take a child's pose. Whatever option you would like to take today, we'll all meet back in your downward facing dog. Then we'll do the other side. If you're in your child's pose, start to come back. We all meet downward facing dog. On your next inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step the left foot in between your hands. Lower right knee down, getting ready for that low lunge. Place hands on hips. Inhale, lift the chest up. Just take a moment to stretch out the front of that hip flexor. Maybe rocking a little bit here. You can either stay with hands on hips, or on your next inhale, hands lift up overhead. And again, you can stay still, or you can have those nice wrist circles, stretching out the hands here. One more breath. And exhale, cartwheel hands all the way down to the floor, ground into the right hand, curl right toes under, lift right knee up. On your next inhale, left hand reaches up towards the sky, simple twist. Maybe circle the left hand out. And on your next exhale, left hand comes down, step left foot back, downward facing dog. Option to stay here, take a child's pose, or you can come into your choice of a vinyasa, either modifying by lowering the knees down or taking your standard chaturanga. We all meet back in our downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, start to come forward into a plank position. I know, plank can be challenging, but it is truly one of the greatest poses that you can do, strengthening your whole body. If this feels like too much, you can always lower it down to your forearms, or you can lower the knees down as well. Tons of ways to modify. But we will be here for 5 more breaths. Focusing on engaging the core, drawing the belly in, pressing into all 10 fingers here. Maybe taking a body scan here, noticing where you may be holding tension. 2 more breaths. Final breath here. And wherever you are, we'll start to lower down all the way to the ground, slow as you can. Beautiful, beautiful job. Okay, from here, moving into a locust pose. Bring your hands by your side, palms face down, tops of the feet are on the floor. On your next inhale, lift the chest up. Start to reach your hands behind you, using your back strength here to lift you up. This pose is excellent because it's a strengthening rather than a stretch here. On your next inhale, see if you can lift up a little bit higher. Yes! And exhale, lower down. Bring your hands on top of one another, place them underneath your forehead to create a small pillow. curl the knees to bring your heels up, and then just gently windshield wiper them to the side, stretching out the low back. So we're gonna build on that. If Locust is enough for you today, take that variation. Otherwise, we'll move into a bound Locust next. Okay, start to release the feet all the way down towards the mat. Hands come by your side to take that standard Locust. If you would like the next variation, hands interlace behind the back. On your next inhale, lift the chest, press the hands away from you. You can stay here, or maybe try to lift and let the feet hover a few inches up. Beautiful, 2 more breaths. Maybe see if you can lift up a little bit higher. And exhale, lower all the way down. Start to bring the hands in front of you, making that pillow, bring the forehead down. Bring the heels up, and then gently wiper them side to side. Moving towards our final variation of this pose, a bow pose. If Locust felt like enough for you, stay there. Otherwise, moving into our final variation. So either taking Locust, your bound Locust, or for bow pose, curl the heels towards your hips, grab the outside of your ankles, and on your next inhale, lift. Press the heels into the hands, using that to lift yourself up. We're here for more breaths. And exhale, start to lower the chest all the way down. Beautiful, beautiful job. We'll counter that stretch with a child's pose. So bring the hands in front of you, and then lift up into a tabletop. Coming into a child's pose, hip come back towards heels. Maybe rock side to side. Maybe placing the forehead at and gently rock side to side. Give yourself a little massage in between the eyebrows. All together, we'll take 1 breath here. And exhale. Start to come back into a tabletop position. Curl toes under, lift hips up towards the sky, downward facing dog. Take a moment to pedal the feet out. Shake the head yes, shake the head no. Start to come back into stillness. On your next inhale, right leg lifts. From here, bend right knee, stack the other. Bend right knee, stack the right hip on top of the other. Make circles with the knee. You can flip your dog if you would like, by bringing that right foot behind you, pressing hips up. If you're making those circles with the knee, switch the direction. If you're flipping your dog, start to come back out of it. We all meet in a 3-legged dog, right leg kicks back. And then start to look towards the top of the mat. Step the right foot in your hands, getting ready for a high lunge. On your next arms reach up. Arms reach up overhead. Take a few moments to settle in. You may notice this feels very similar to that low lunge that we had done before. Feeling that nice stretch to the front of the left hip flexor. Start to wiggle your left fingers. We're gonna come into a twisted position. So start to bring the left hand in front of you. Right hand reaches behind you. You can stay here, or you can reverse. Right hand comes behind you towards that back leg as the left hand reaches up towards the sky. On your next inhale, come back into that twisted position. We're gonna move into a warrior 2. Start to pivot your left foot down. Arms lift up overhead. ninja them, and then come into Take a moment to settle in here. You can make circles with the hands, or like we did at the beginning of the class, press the two walls away. Press the hands up towards the sky. Imagine you're pressing the walls away from you. Settling in here. One more big breath. And then release that, hands come down. We'll reverse. Right hand faces up towards the sky, reach forward. Reverse your warrior. Right arm lifts up, left hand comes back. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the floor. Listen. Start to lift that left heel up, coming back into that simple twist. So ground into left hand, right hand reaches up towards the sky. We've been here before, simple twist. So, you are more than welcome to stay here if you want more. We'll move into a side plank. So you can either lower that left knee down to modify, or step that right foot back, coming into your side plank. So to modify, lower that left knee down. Otherwise, feet come and stack either in front of each other or on top of one another. And if you want your biggest challenge of the day, come into a starfish pose by lifting that right leg up. And of course, this is just a variation. You don't have to do this. It's very challenging. We're here for 2 more breaths. And remember, we're on grass, so if you fall, not going too far. 1 more breath. Exhale wherever you are. Come back, down, lower the right down. Lower down. Just a moment. We'll come into a child's pose. Take a breath before we do the same thing on the other side. On your next inhale, come back up, tabletop, roll toes under. Lift hips up towards the sky, downward facing dog. We do the same thing on the other side. On your next inhale, left leg lifts. Stack left hip on top of right. Make circles with the knee, circles with the ankle. You can flip your dog if you did that on the other side. Left foot drops back. Left hand reaches up overhead. Press hips up towards the sky. You're making circles with the knee. Switch it up, go the other direction. And we'll all meet back in that 3-legged dog. Left foot reaching behind you, left toes face down. Step the left foot in between your hands, getting ready for our high lunge. On your next inhale, arms lift up overhead. So again, take a few moments to settle in. If you notice that you're wobbling around, you can always toe heel that front foot out to the side to create a wider base. If you need to support, you can always place your hands on your hips. Otherwise, coming into this nice high lunge, lifting that back heel up, feeling that nice stretch in the front of the right hip flexor, countering all of the sitting that we may be doing throughout our life. 1 more breath here. Hold it through the exhale. Start to wiggle your right fingers, getting ready for that high lunge twist. Right hand comes in front of you, left hand reaches behind you, gazing to the side of our One more breath here. And getting ready for that ninja move. Inhale, we lift back up, getting ready to a warrior 2, back foot pivots down, gaze past the left hand. And again, you can stay here, you can make circles with the hands, or you can do personally my favorite variation, press those 2 walls away from you, getting that nice stretch of the heels of the hand. Should feel really nice on the forearms, on all through the fingers. One more breath. Hold through the exhale. Release the hand variation. Let the palms face down towards the floor. And then flip the left palm up, reach forward, reverse your warrior, left arm reaches up towards the sky, right hand comes on the right thigh, or maybe the right calf. And exhale, cartwheel the hands all the way down to the floor, moving into a simple twist. Right hand comes down, inhale, left hand reaches up towards the sky. Now you can stay here. You can modify by lowering that right knee down, if you would like. And whenever you feel ready, we'll get ready for that side plank variation. So grounding into that right hand, start to step that left foot back behind you. For more support today, you'll lower that right knee down, coming into a modified version. For more intensity, feet go in front of one another. You can stack your feet on top of one another. And for your biggest challenge of the day, lift that left foot up, coming into that starfish variation. Drawing the core in, seeing if you can lift the hips up higher. 2 more breaths here. Final big breath here. And exhale wherever you are, left hand comes down, lower the knees down, come back into a child's pose, and take a few moments here. Quieting the mind, quieting the breath. Maybe rocking the hips side to side. We'll take 2 more big breaths here. Final big breath. Big open mouth sigh. Release. Okay, from here, from your child's pose, start to walk the hands back until you come into a kneeling position. We're going to come into a hero's pose. So you're coming to sit with your hips on your heels. We're getting ready for our peak pose, our camel pose. So if you have any lower back sensitivities, this may not be for you. You can take the other variation. Otherwise, lift up. So you're coming into that kneeling position. First, imagine that you're putting on a backpack. So you roll the shoulders back. You're gonna press your hips forward. Hands come to the low back, fingers face down, and then curl the toes under. This may be enough for you. You're gonna press your hips forward. Maybe start to lift the gaze up slightly. And this may be enough for you. If you want even more, start to lower down, grabbing the tops of the heels. Press the hips up towards the sky. And if you feel any pinching in the low back, come into that other variation. Otherwise, feeling the whole front side of the body opening up. And if you want to go even deeper, release the tops of the feet all the way down to the floor as you continue pressing the hips up. Beautiful job. We're here for 2 more breaths. Where you are. Final big breath. Hold through the exhale. Start to place your hands on your low back. Use your core strength to lift you back up. And then bring the hips back down, heels. And we counter stretch by inhale, lift arms up overhead. And exhale, we come into a child's pose. Sink the chest down to the floor. Rock the hips side to side. So today we focused a lot on the shoulders. We've been focusing a lot on our spinal flexion, opening up the fronts of the shoulders, opening up the whole front side of the body, which often we find ourselves hunching forward. So a lot of this is just countering those movements that we may be doing from day to day. We'll take 1 big breath here all together. Take a big breath in through the nose. Big open mouth sigh, let it go. Start to curl the toes under, lift hips up towards the sky. Come back into your downward facing dog. Pedal the feet out, shake the head yes, shake the head no. Maybe noticing how the body feels after some of those flows that we've done. Start to come back into stillness. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up. And exhale, bring your right knee over to the right wrist. And your right foot will go somewhere between the left hand and the left knee, setting up for a pigeon. If this doesn't feel good for you, you can always take this on your back by lifting that right foot up and placing it on the knee and coming here for a modified supine figure 4. Otherwise, from your pigeon pose, lifting the chest up, rolling the shoulders back. Take a moment to gaze at the left foot behind you, making sure it's in a nice straight line. And you can either stay up here, or you can start to lower the chest down all the way, coming down to your forearms, or you can lower the chest all the way down to the floor. This is one of the best positions to counter all of the sitting that we do. You may find that this pose is quite intense. So if you ever feel like you need to take a few moments to just pause, maybe lift the chest back up, reset, you're always available to do that. We'll be here for 3 more breaths. Final big breath here. And on your next inhale, start to lift the chest back up. Place the hands down on the mat in front of you. Curl left toes under, lift left knee up, and then step the right foot back, downward facing dog. Take a moment to shake it out, shake the head yes, shake the head no. Getting ready for the other side. On your next inhale, left leg lifts up. And exhale, step the left foot in between the left hand, somewhere between right behind the left wrist. And the left foot goes rather between the right wrist and the right knee. Setting up for pigeon on the other side, tenting up on those fingers for a little bit more height. Roll the shoulders back away from you. Gaze at the foot behind you, making sure it's in a nice straight line. From here, you can either stay here, or you can lower down onto your forearms. And for even more, you can lower the chest all the way down to the mat. Like we did earlier in class, you can place one hand on top of the other and place that underneath your eyebrows to create a little pillow, if that feels good for you. And again, this pose can be quite intense, so if you ever need to take a moment to reset, you're always welcome to do that. And if this does absolutely not work for your body today, you can always take the supine position by lying on your back, left foot lifts up, placing it on top of the right knee, and then drawing that right knee into the chest. We'll give you the same stretch, but with a little less intensity. But otherwise, we'll just take a few moments here to settle into this pose. Really focusing on squaring the hips down towards the grass. Sometimes I notice that we roll over onto one side and we lose the stretch. Just really focusing on squaring the hips, and you should feel that in the piriformis, in the deep parts of the hip, in the pelvis. We're here for a few more breaths. And again, if it ever feels like too much, you can always reset. 2 more breaths here. Final big breath. Hold the exhale. On your next inhale, start to lift the chest back up, coming up on the fingers. Curl right toes under, lift right knee up, and then step left foot back, downward facing dog. Shake the head yes, shake the head no. Start to come full high plank position. Come to high plank position. We're only here for a moment. We'll start to slowly lower down, all the way down start to lower all the way down to the floor. We're going to move into a nice, I call this a prone shoulder stretch. This feels like too much. You don't have to go super deep into it. But coming on our belly, tent up on your right fingers. Your left hand opens out to the side. Opens out to the side like a T. Fingers are coming underneath your shoulder. And then from here, step your right foot behind you. So the right foot comes all the way back. So you're stacking your right hip on top of the left. And you should feel this stretch in the front of the left shoulder. Big breaths here, slowing down our breathing, slowing down our breath. Final breath. And exhale, start to roll back onto your belly. We'll switch sides. This time, the right hand extends out to the side like a T. Your left fingers tent underneath your left shoulder. And then step your left foot behind you. Your left hip rolling on top of the right. Place the right ear on the ground. More big breaths here. Final breath. And at the end of your exhale, slowly roll. And from here, place the hands under the shoulders, lift back up, child's pose. Rock the hips side to side. Start start to walk the hands back towards the knees, cross your ankles, and then come into a seated position. Uncross the feet, bring them out in front of you. Grab the back of your thighs, and we'll slowly lower down all the way onto our backs. Getting ready for a supine twist. We have two options. You can either bring your knees together and let them fall to the side, or your other option for more intensity is to cross your legs on top of one another. So you can choose. On your next, if you want to take that cross-legged variation, your right leg will come on top of the left and your knees will fall over to the left. For the regular variation, your knees will just simply fall over to the left. Your hands can either be in a cactus pose or open out to a T. So whatever variation you would like to take, we'll start to get ready for that now. Start to let the knees fall over to the left. Gaze can go up towards the sky, or they can be past your right shoulder. Supine twist. So spinal twist. We've done a few of them in class today. These spinal twists are really great for both detoxing the body, and what that means is we're cutting off circulation in parts of the body, and then once we release, it allows the blood flow to continue to move part of the body. So it's a great way to, encourage circulation. The other thing that spinal twists are great for is just also counteracting a lot of the sitting and the forward movement from day to day. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Final big breath. On your next inhale, knees come back to center. We get ready to switch sides, so knees either fall over to the right, or you can lift that left foot up, cross the knees, and then bring the knees over to the right. Gaze can either go up at the sky, or you can bring the gaze past the left shoulder. Maybe noticing how this side feels compared to the other. We only have 1 more pose before our Savasana after this. We'll get ready for our happy baby in just a moment. Final breath here. On your next inhale, knees come back to center and cross your legs if you took that variation. Final pose here, knees to chest. You can either grab the ankles or the pinky side edge of the feet, happy baby. You can stay still or rock side to side. And if there's any other poses you would like to take before we close out our practice, you're more than welcome to do that now. Maybe it's a shoulder stand, a plow, maybe bridge or wheel, whatever you may want to explore and get out before we get ready to rest. And if you're ready to come into that final resting pose, your Savasana, you release your feet down to the floor. Legs come out long. Hands can either be by your side, or you can place the left hand on the heart and the right hand on the belly. Whatever you may choose to do now. This is your final resting pose. We'll be here for a few moments before we finish out the day. If you'd like to grab a jacket or anything else before you settle into stillness, you can do that now. You can either have a soft gaze, or you can close your eyes if you feel safe to do so. As you settle into stillness, just allow yourself to simply be here. There's nothing you need to accomplish. There's nothing that needs your attention in this moment. And for these next few minutes, your only responsibility is just to feel the support of the earth beneath you. Notice the space that you've created today. Maybe more openness in your chest. Maybe releasing tension in the shoulders. Or maybe simply connecting to your breath. Carry this feeling with you. And remember that you are allowed to pause. And you're allowed to slow down. And you're allowed to take care of yourself before everyone else that may need your attention. I'm going to take a few moments to go quiet and allow yourself to connect. And I'll wake you up when we're ready to go. If you would like to stay here for a few more moments, you're more than welcome to do so. Otherwise, we'll start to invite some life and movement back into the body. Start to wiggle your fingers, start to wiggle your toes. And we'll take one more big final stretch here. On your next inhale, reach your hands up overhead, point your toes, get as big as you can. And exhale, release them by your side. Start to slowly roll over to one side. And then press yourself up into a seated position. And we'll get ready to close out our practice the same way that we started with the seated meditation. I invite you to change the crossing of your legs, because oftentimes we default into one position, so let's just switch it up. And we'll close out our practice with 3 final closing breaths. Start to take a deep inhale in through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhale, breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. Final breath here. Inhale, breathe in through the nose. This time, hold it at the top. See if you can sip in a little bit more air. Biggest sigh of the day. Let it all go. Release. Know that you can always come back to this feeling just by connecting back to your breath. And whenever you feel ready, begin to slowly open your eyes. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you all so much for joining me here today for free yoga at the Whale Tail. We are here most Saturdays. Please check the schedule here at the front. There's an A-frame, so you'll be able to check out all the dates. If you sign up for class, you can always sign up for class to see all the dates on the website. Just some housekeeping. If you borrowed a mat, if you wouldn't mind rolling it up and bringing it into my wagon over there, I would greatly appreciate it. If you borrowed a gray blanket, if you wouldn't mind folding that up and placing it into the black bin underneath this table, we would greatly appreciate it. Please hang tight. We're going to have some amazing live music put on by our friends at Illuminate just here in a moment. And we'll also have some delicious bevies at the back, so please stay and hang out with us for a while. If you would like to give a donation, we would greatly appreciate it. I would greatly appreciate it. I have all the QR codes, jars for cash, whatever your preferred payment method is at the front. I am hosting a yoga retreat at the end of the season. I'd love to have you come join me. We're 12 weeks out. For all my friends here, if you would like to get a little bit of a discount, come talk to me. I only have a couple of those available, but since you guys come here, I'll give you all those details. You can check out all that stuff here at the front. Anyways, love to get to meet you. Come say hi after class. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. I hope to see you again soon. Thank you all so much for coming out today.